Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is FIKRI bin Muhammad Noor. So I'm from 6BMB1. Today I will present about the future of airline after post-COVID. Moving on to the content that I will share. The first one is the introduction. Number 2, current issue. Number 3, the future. And number 4, the economic part and the conclusion. So moving on to the introduction, COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on flights, revenues and predicted to reach 328 billion in year 2020, up to 40% from 2019. It's the same as 2000 in year 2000. Traffic won't return to 2019's levels until year 2024. So we're moving on to the global economic impact in brief. We can see the three chart here that in year 2020, the seat offered, capacity, passengers flown and airline revenue loss are decreasing from time to time until year 2022. So moving on to the current issues, what we'll talk about in the current issues. Due to travel limitation and a drop in demand, the COVID-19 epidemic has hurt the aviation sector. Lowered passengers numbers have led to flight cancellation and empty planes flying between airports, which has reduced airline profits and pushed many to lay off workers or declare bankruptcy. Some have avoided cancelling vacation to reduce losses. Airlines and airport have laid off workers early year 2020. Statement says the epidemic was already the deadliest in aviation history. So moving on, what will happen in the future? So I have 3 points. That is, number 1 is leisure trips will fuel the recovery. Number 2, staggering debt levels will lead to ticket price increases and larger role for government in the sector. And number 3, aircraft market may be oversupplied for some time to come. So the first point is leisure trips will fuel the recovery. So business travel will rebound more slowly, reaching pre-pandemic levels of 80% by year 2024. After the epidemic, people will take fewer businesses travel and maintain remote and flexible work. In prior crisis, leisure travel or visit to friends and family rebounded first, like in the UK after 9/11 and the global financial crisis. After the World Trade Center attacks, business trips took 4 years to return to pre-crisis levels. By year 2020, they still hadn't recovered to pre-financial crisis levels. As the pandemic fades, we expect leisure travel to outperform business travel. So moving on to the second point, that is the staggering debt levels will lead to ticket price increases and a larger role for government in the sector. So many airlines have borrowed significant sums to stay afloat and cover daily cash burn rates. Using state aid, credit lines and bond issuances, the industry accrued more than 180 billion in debt in year 2021, or more than half of yearly sales. Still growing debt, worsening credit scores and greater financing expenses make repayment tougher. Costs must be recovered. Ticket costs may rise. Our estimation suggests a 3% increase in ticket costs, assuming a 10-year repayment window for additional debt. When air travel demand recovers, supply may be insufficient. Latent travel demand is high. It will take time for airlines to rebuild capacity, and bottlenecks like aircraft return delays and staff retraining might cause a supply-demand gap and higher short-term prices. So as we can see, this is the graph of the industry debt could exceed the revenue by year to 2024. Lastly, the third point, aircraft market may be oversupplied for some time to come. So aircraft OEM increased manufacturing before COVID-19 in expectation of expansion. This has caused an aircraft glut. Norwegian Air Shuttle, which abandoned the long-haul market, returned relatively new aircraft to lessor. Used aircraft lease prices have fallen and will likely stay low. 2016 Boeing 777-300 leased for 1.2 million per month in 2019. The rate dropped below 800,000 in year 2020. New planes may be cheaper. So, what is the economic part or the conclusion for my topic? So COVID-19 impact isn't over. Vaccination have begun in some parts of the world, but air traffic won't recover for years. So post-COVID-19 airline industry is becoming clearer and has lessons for today's carriers. Digitization and the phase out of inefficient aircraft have accelerated. Debt-laden carriers have diminished and cash reserves. The prediction isn't all bad. People are eager to travel again for the holidays, since travel will be greener and more efficient. Taking action now will be benefit airlines in this altered environment. So that's all for me. Thank you.